Hi, crafty friends. Okay, you guys remember a while back, I got all of these little pieces of fabric, that'd be fabric, at the thrift store. Oh my goodness, words are hard again today. So what I'm doing is I'm taking each one of them, not all of them, but just a few of them, and I'm cutting them into thirds because I've got that little plastic pumpkin there, and I like it because it has a lid on it. And I got that from Dollar General. And so we are going to decoupage this. I'm so excited. I absolutely love vintage fabric and when it looks vintage and all the things. So I thought we're going to totally decoupage this thing. So lots of Mod Podge. We're going to just start coating it. Now you can tell these strips aren't long enough. Well, you'll be able to tell here in a second, to go all the way to the bottom of the pumpkin. But because I have multiple strips now, I can go ahead and do a second layer on this. And as I was doing this, I was like, man, you know what? We could even put like a little light in this because there will be some parts where you can see through it. But I thought it would also be a really cute little like candy jar or something like that. So I'm just using, as you can see, a lot of Mod Podge, and then I'm just going to be putting each strip and they'll kind of start to overlap each other just a little bit. Now, I don't know if you can tell from this, but there's lots of little indentions in this pumpkin. So I'm really taking the time to make sure that everything is laying really well. And then as I was doing this, I thought, oh my gosh, with these indentions, we could add another little layer to all of this. But I really like all the colors of the fabrics that I'm doing. So I just, again, just totally decoupaging this a little bit. There were some parts where when I started cutting them and did the bottom layer, and even when I did the top, that some of the pieces don't match up perfectly, and that's okay. We can totally make it however we want it to be. I was even thinking, oh my gosh, you know how Dollar Tree has some really good fabrics sometimes? We could use their fabrics. We could even use ribbon to do this, or even tissue paper would be super cool. The tissue paper I think would be really cool because then we could really see the light coming through with that. But you can see I'm doing the pumpkin first, and then I'm going to do the lid second because again, I want to be able to open this to put stuff in it. That's why I didn't just cover the whole thing. But I was even thinking the rope that I'm going to add in, you can see here, I'm going to do the bottom and the top separate from each other. Again, trying to kind of match them up so again, that we can open this. So what I did was I did the whole bottom part, and then once the top was still drying here. So once that was all dried up, then I was like, ooh, I got to clean up the edges on the lid. So what I decided to do with that when I was cleaning up the lid edge was I just took some really gritty sandpaper and just sanded right off. And it's easy peasy. Just make sure that your Mod Podge is completely dry. So then when I started to think about how I wanted to add the twine onto this, I was like, you know what? I need to put the lid back onto the pumpkin so that way I can really make sure that everything is matching up. And sometimes it did, and sometimes it didn't, but look how stinking cute this is. Oh my gosh, I love it. All right, follow for more.